Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Wednesday, the first day of December, 27th day of Kislev. Another Hanukkah law for you, and that is, Rav Moshe Feinstein Zatzal was asked the question as to whether it's okay to light in a menorah. One of the containers in the menorah will hold oil, and one of the containers will hold like wax or a candle or something. And Rav Moshe said that you should not do that. And that's because the nature of the difference of the way the two lights will light will look a little bit disparate, not really like continuous and uniform. And we want to show clearly if there's four lights lit, that there's four lights and it's the fourth night of Hanukkah. And if you have different things going on all over your menorah, then it confuses that and it's not appropriate. So if you're using oil, you should try to use oil throughout all of the lights of your menorah. Now, that said, there are still a few more tiny distinctions to be made based on somewhat of what the other poskim say, and that is, can you use, let's say you ran out of olive oil, so you filled up cups, I don't know, 3 of them with olive oil, and the last one you'll have to do with some other kind of oil. Is that okay? And there are poskim that say that that is okay. There, the light of the different lights will be similar, even though one's olive oil and one's another kind of oil, but that will be okay. Also, there are other poskim that talk about how if several people from the family are lighting, and there's going to be a few menorahs, and some of the menorahs are candles, and some of the menorahs are oil, that's okay also. So far, the only way that's not acceptable, says Rav Moshe, is when you have different things within the same menorah. And lastly, one more nuance, which was asked to other poskim, and that is, if for whatever reason I ran out of olive oil, let's say, can I on nights 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 use olive oil, and then on night number 5, can I use candles? And the answer to that, according to most poskim, is yes. What you used last night in your menorah will have no olive oil is still the best, but if for some reason you can't be using olive oil on the subsequent night, then what you did on the nights 1, 2, 3, and 4 using olive oil, and for some reason you have to switch over to candles for the 5th night, that's okay. You just can't have the same menorah having some oil and some candles on the same night. This might be important to some of you because when we come up to this Friday, what you're supposed to do is light your candles, of course, before you light your Shabbos candles, before you accept Shabbos. And that, like here in Baltimore, that's going to be about 4:30 in the afternoon. And then your Hanukkah candles have to stay lit all the way until a half an hour after nightfall, which is about 6 o'clock. That's about an hour and a half. So if you see that your oil lights have been a little shaky and they don't make it well to all the way to an hour and a half, but you know the candles will, that might bring you to the situation that we just discussed in our last halacha about 40 seconds ago, which is maybe you're going to do oil on all the nights, but when then you get to Friday night where you got to forcibly make sure that they last an hour and a half and they're not doing so great with your oil, then yeah, then you could, if you need to, switch over to candle lights for the Friday night just to make sure that they'll last all the way to the requisite Friday night. The requisite is about an hour and a half. So consider all these halachas when you fill up your menorah and your menorahs and your menorah this Friday night. Oh, I hope that wasn't confusing. Have yourself a great day, and don't forget that Rosh Chodesh is coming. That's going to be on Shabbos and Sunday. We'll remind you about that as we get closer. Bye-bye. Happy Hanukkah.